Auvbri here, and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. So with the release finally of Get Famous, I wanted to use a lot of the new furniture. So as you might have seen in the thumbnail, we are doing a vineyard today, and a lot of you actually guessed it. I threw in a little teaser on Twitter, and a lot of you actually guessed what we were doing. But it's not the most traditional vineyard here. So I wanted to, because I know that a lot of the stuff were really modern looking with the Get Famous expansion pack, I wanted to try and mix the contemporary vineyard style with this modern look. And still keep a lot of the vineyard style in the modern house that we built on the top here. So the house part itself is actually quite big. So we have 3 big bedrooms, we have a little studio area, kitchen, dining room, living room, 2 bathrooms. So it is quite a big house, but I think it turned out so good in the end. And as you could see in the intro, at least I think that it blended really, really well with the overall architecture of the vineyard itself, which took forever. I'm not even kidding. It was like horrible. It took like almost 2 hours just to place those grape plants, because I had to place them individually. So I had to go into to the buy the bulk sheet, find the grape, and place those individually. And I had to place them on a flat terrain as well, because otherwise they would just pop out to the side anyway. So I had to place the grapes, I had to have my builder sim plant them, and then I had to manually pick them up and put them in their place. So it took forever, but I think the overall result here that we see in the end is definitely worth it. I think it turned out so good, and you can definitely see it's a vineyard. So I had to actually change the season. So we're currently building in the summer season, but I had to change it to fall, because that is when the grapes will grow in this game. So that's why they look a little, what can we say, drab. I mean, it still looks really good. I'm overall super happy about how it looked, but I just feel like it would have looked so much better in summertime, but I just couldn't get them to grow. So we had to change the season. So you might be wondering, okay, so why is there a modern house here? Now, the reason that I didn't want to do a more traditional vineyard house, like a French style vineyard house, is because I'm actually working on drawings for a French chateau. Because again, with the release of this expansion pack, we got a lot of modern items, and we got a lot of really old school French inspired looking items as well. So I wanted to reserve that to another build. And I thought it would be really fun to try and blend these modern architecture with the more traditional vineyard. And I think it turned out really good in the end. As you can kind of see in the build here, I am using colors that is trying to mimic the surroundings. So I'm using a lot of stone, browns, natural colors to bring in this feeling that we still have some sort of old school style with the build here. That's also why I chose to put in these trims in front of the biggest amount of windows that we have in this build, just to again make it more in touch with nature, and just keep the overall vibe of that traditional vineyard, but still trying to keep it modern, so we still have that really super modern look that we were going for here. I wanted to also put something in front of the other windows in the build, but I didn't want it to be these shutters that we had in front of the main front of the build. So I decided to use these, I don't know what it is, kind of like these chroma things that we can get in the under the description tab. And I decided to put those in front of the windows instead, and I thought it looked really cool. A skylight in that room. We're gonna put in some windows in the end because I kind of needed them just to kind of break up the room a bit. But we're gonna use the new windows that came with this expansion pack as well. So as you might have noticed already, we're using a lot of items that just came with this pack, and I mean, it's always a deal when a new stuff pack is released, or game pack, or expansion pack. We kind of want to use these items because we have been playing around with the same items for so long. So yeah, I'm using a lot of the new items, and if you don't have this expansion pack, I know that the gallery would just replace the items with, you know, items that corresponds to the same thing. So if you don't have this expansion pack, you should still be able to play around with this house. I mean, the grapes and all that stuff, the general stuff that makes this build a vineyard, is still here, so you should still be able to play around with it. But yeah, here I'm using the terrain tools to try and make a more natural slope here. I want to say that this terrain tool, it's a really intuitive tool, and I do have to give props to the Sims team for creating this. It's a really good tool, and they really do deserve the credit for making this a really good gameplay tool. I know they took a lot of time with it, and it clearly shows because it is very intuitive to use, and you can just kind of pick it up. I haven't played around with it much since the live stream, and I just find it so easy to just pick up and start playing around with. I have noticed some bugs like the one we encountered here, where sometimes you're just not able to place stuff probably on the terrain. It could be anything like flooring here, or for example, you're gonna see it in the later in the video that we also have trouble like getting stuff to stick to the terrain in a proper way so they don't float. I know it's just like small things, but it is kind of annoying, and I hope that's something they are gonna look at in the future. So I'm just creating a little driveway here, where I wanted the cars to go. So because this is a very modern house, I tried to keep it very I tried to keep it very sleek looking. I just changed the grass color here to a bit of a greener tone, just because the one that was there was a bit more of a drab color. Okay, I know you might be thinking, why is this lot in this world? Why is it in Brindleton Bay? It is in this world because that was the lot that I felt like it would be the best fit for. I did try and put it into what was it, like the desert world? I can never remember what. Desert Bloom, maybe? Oasis Springs, there we go. I did try to put it into Oasis Springs, but there just was not a lot big enough. So the biggest lot in Oasis Springs is 50 by 50. And I knew from the get-go that just wouldn't be big enough. So I decided to put it in Brindleton Bay instead. And I really liked the scenery here, and I felt like this would be the second best place to have this this build be the most effective. So that's why we chose to have it here. We just built a little staircase. We're gonna use a lot of plants for the scenery here, so there is a ton of plants in this build, and it actually is a very large build. I mean, we almost have the same amount of items in this build, I believe, as we did in the Asian Mountain on the live stream, and that was a freaking huge build. So just some stuff to thought, I guess. It is a very large build, but I think the result in the end speaks for itself. I mean, just the house as it is right now, to me is very beautiful. You guys know that I love doing modern houses, but I really did try to blend the modern and traditional build here, so kind of like the vineyard would go together with the rest of the build. So we're gonna use a lot of hills, smaller hills in this build as well. Excuse me, frog in my throat. We're gonna use a lot of smaller like hills to kind of make the vineyards look a bit more natural. I know that a lot of vineyards has smaller hills where the vines go up and down from. And because I had to like literally hand plant all of these vines myself, yeah, you can kind of see it in the background now. There's just a huge part of the video that you're just not gonna see, so we're just gonna jump right into the interior of the build instead. You're gonna see screenshots in the ad, I promise, and we're gonna put in some smaller details in the outside as well, so you guys can kind of see what was going on there, but you're not gonna see me place those 1,000 plants or more in the hills. It's just yeah, it's not gonna happen. But it's fairly simple. It's just rows of grape plants occupying the hills, and it took forever, and I wanted to have this build out like hours ago, but it just took so much longer to do that part of the video than I expected, and I had to go to my tattoo artist because I had to get a touch-up, and it has just been a very busy day. So the video comes out a bit later than I would have liked, and it is somewhat longer than I usually do, but I think the result again really speaks for itself. I'm super happy about how this video turned out. I think it's just so good, and I had so much fun finding the background music that you're listening to at the moment. I really wanted to find the right music that captured the overall vibe of the place, and I felt like this really acoustic chill relaxation music was just the perfect fit for the build. So something I did that you didn't see me do was I did the vines that you can see in the back here. I also did the backyard, quote unquote, where we have a pool area and a deck that kind of goes over the hill. And the door to that, you can kind of see it in the bottom here, in the bottom left screen. Yeah, that's kind of it. We also put in the rooms, different rooms. So in the downstairs area here, we have the entrance, which is one big open space into the dining room and kitchen area. And I used all new stuff in here except for the lights, because I love those. I want those in real life, and I'm gonna get them. I loved that painting as well. I just thought it fits so well with the color of the walls, so that's why we chose that. The chair is also super cool. And the kitchen is fairly simple. It's a smaller kitchen, and it's definitely one of the smaller kitchens I've done for a house of this size, but I just felt like it fit very well in the corner, and I didn't want to overcrowd it. It is a big house, and there's plats. There is a lot of space. Almost spoke Danish there. There's a lot of space for you to have a big family, to expand the build if you want to do that, convert a room, one of the rooms, into another room. You can kind of do whatever you want with this build. I just tried to make it modern looking, but not too modern. So as you can kind of see in the styling of the furniture I have around the place, it is really modern looking, but it still kind of has like this retro vibe to it. The paintings as well on the wall and the styling with the plants, all that kind of stuff. I tried to keep it modern, but still having a sense of it actually being a vineyard. So vineyards in my head has a certain style, and I tried to mix that with this modern look, and I think what we came up with in the end in this build is super good. I mean, I would be so happy to live here, and I just think that the lot turned out so good. So for those of you watching with me, I can kind of tease to you what I'm currently working on. I'm working on the French chateau, as I said. I'm also working on making an airport, which I have been wanting to do for so long. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on a train station as well, like this really old school English French style train station. I thought that could be so fun, especially with the train tools. And I'm working on a pirate town, because I saw we have had a lot of props in the Get Famous expansion that had to do with pirate stuff, and I thought that could be really cool as well to try to make like a little pirate town with the boats and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I have going on right now. 4 amazing builds, hopefully will be coming to you very soon, and I think I've been really good at producing videos over the last month. I really enjoy making videos again. There was a slight time there where I just didn't want to, because I was kind of burned out, and I know that's something a lot of people can relate to. But I'm finally back. I mean, with the release of the terrain tools and new expansion packs, new careers, new stuff, you guys, the live streams, everything has just been so wonderful, and I'm really happy to build again. So going strong. I mean, this video will be up tomorrow. I will have some Let's Plays out. We will have another house building video or 2 in the next week as well, and everything, or in this week, and everything should just be really good. I mean, it's so nice to be back. But yeah, we didn't have a lot of stuff to do left in this build, just a couple of rooms. So you might be wondering, okay, so why? I mean, we have a lot of stuff done now, but I wanted to throw in a studio area, and I knew that we had a like YouTube studio desk type of thing here, which I thought was so cool. The desk actually kind of looks like mine a bit. Mine is a bit more of an L shape from IKEA, and I love this desk. It is a little squeaky, but I mean, it's okay. I can live with that. But the setup is actually really nice looking. I'm so happy that they decided to do this. Oh, sorry. That was a sneeze. But yeah, I wanted to have a little studio area just because I thought it would be fun. And again, this is one of those rooms that you can just redesign and do with what you want if you don't want there to be a studio. I just thought it was a nice little idea. So going into the master bedroom here, we have a big closet space with, you know, closet hangers on either side as well. I decided to go with a bigger door into the master bedroom just because I thought it looked really good in the hallway. So I was a bit undecisive of the color scheme in here. We decided to go with a black and red and white in the end, and keeping these really nice brownish colors on the wall. And I think the color scheme in here turned out to be really good, especially with the background behind the bed where we have like these tree textures on the wallpaper and these two really dark paintings. And this is my favorite new painting. There's just so many good options in it. And on with that rug, so good. But yeah, I really like how the master bedroom here turned out. I decided to move one of the windows up a bit so it wouldn't be in the way of the couch, but also just to create some sort of texture from the outside so it just wasn't window on a straight line. Just so we had something fun to play with. Again, because we have these chromas all over the windows from the outside, just kind of create a different look on each window. And I thought we could kind of translate that by moving one of the windows up just slightly. So in the other end of the hallways here, I decided to go with just two simple rooms, one more feminine, one more masculine. Not necessarily teenage rooms or boys and girls rooms, but I just wanted to do something different. And this is kind of the furniture style that you can see here that would go really well in a French chateau, which is definitely something I am gonna do. So yeah, again, stay tuned for that in the future, because that's definitely going to be the next video. I think we can do something truly amazing with these furniture and the new building items as well. Moving over to the more masculine side, I wanted to use this bed again because I think it looks so much different than the other one we had in the master bedroom when you actually change the color. Yeah, again, it's pretty much the same room, just kind of reversed a bit, and we had a lot more windows in this room. I don't know why, but I feel like this room was slightly bigger. Maybe it wasn't, I don't know, but yeah, it's roughly the same size. One like more feminine, one more masculine. Has the same stuff in it. You can use them as guest rooms, teenage rooms, whatever your heart's desire is. And a really fun rug underneath. Also my favorite new rug, kind of like the zebra tiger skin thing. It just has so many good textures as well, so definitely my new favorite thing. Here we have the screenshot. So this is right when you enter into the builds, dining room and kitchen. Remember, if you want to get this build, it is on the gallery right now, so if you want to find it, just search my origin ID, which is Auvbri, and you should be able to find every single thing that I do. Also, as we look at the hallway down to the living room, also remember to follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so. There's a link in the description down below to my Twitter page. Follow me there for all of my tweets where I kind of tease builds, ask you guys stuff, interact with you guys, information information about upcoming live streams, and so on and so on. I'm starting to become really vocal on Twitter, so I would definitely encourage you to follow me on Twitter if you are interested in live streams and all that stuff, and building videos, let's plays, what have you. So link in the description down below. And as we take a look at the last pictures here from the outside, you can kind of see the vineyard from above here. I love how this build turned out. I definitely will say it's one of my favorite builds. that I have done this year. So proud of it. But yeah, there's nothing else for me to say other than thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and have a truly fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time for another video.